Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Tuesday, February 28th, 2023. Today we will recap the college basketball, NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball spring training from yesterday. Look ahead to today's games in each sport. We'll do soccer too, news and notes, and best bets. So a shorter show today than usual. College basketball will kick it off. We'll go over the results from yesterday. Look ahead to a busier night tonight, as more conference tournaments are getting underway. ASUN first round, Queens over Florida Gulf Coast 61-55. ASUN first round, Bellarmine over North Florida 76-74. UNC over Florida State 77-66. Coppin State over Delaware State 82-72. NC Central over Norfolk State 76-75 in overtime. Howard over SC State 82-78. Southern over Florida A&M 60-58. Grambling over Bethune 66-54. Morgan State over Maryland Eastern 68-61. Weber State over Northern Arizona 90-89 in overtime. Northern Colorado over Idaho State 87-72. Number 7 Baylor over Oklahoma State 74-68. West Virginia with the big win 72-69 over Iowa State, much needed for them. Wyoming upsets Nevada 80-71, so bad loss for Nevada. Montana over Idaho 68-53. Montana State over Eastern Washington 79-74. Jackson State over Prairie View 61-57. Alcorn State over Texas Southern 89-81. Sac State over Portland State 76-74. All right, now the games for today. 6 o'clock, you have Sun Belt first round, Arkansas State, Coastal Carolina for Pensacola-based center in Pensacola. My projection here is Arkansas State 2.7, total 139 and 9/20. And it's 1.5 and 138.5. So 2.2 edge or 1.2 edge on Coastal Carolina. And a less than 1 point edge on the over. So the pick is going to be a slight lean to Coastal Carolina. Coastal money line minus 120 isn't bad. 6:30 Fox Sports 1, number 6 Marquette at Butler. My line is Marquette 6.5, total 142 and 7/20. And it's 9.5 and 142.5. I'm going to take Butler getting the points. ACC Network 7 o'clock. Clemson at number 13. Virginia falls out of the top 10. We'll get more into the AP poll later in the show. My line's Virginia 7.2, total 136 and 7/20. And we have 6.5 and 129.5. I'll gladly take the over. ESPN 2, Iowa at number 15, Indiana. My line is Indiana by 3, total 148 and 19/20. And it's 5.5 and 154.5. I'm taking the under. Patriot League first round, Bucknell American. My line's American by 7, total 132 and 19/20. And it's 5.5 and 132.5. Slightly in American. Patriot League first round, Holy Cross Loyola Maryland. My line is Loyola by 7, total 136 and 17/20. And we got 5.5 and 142.5. I'm taking the under. Horizon League first round, IPUI Robert Morris. My line's Robert Morris 14.3, total 139 and 3/5. And it's 14.5 and 138.5. Very close. So slight over. Horizon League first round, Green Bay Wright State. My line's Wright State 19.7, total 144 and 7/10. And it's 21.5 and 146.5. So they're each 1.8 off. So because it's a conference tourney game, I'm going to take the slight lean to Green Bay to cover. Horizon League first round, Purdue Fort Wayne Detroit. My line is Purdue 2.3, total 147 and 19/20. And it is 5.5 and 153.5 and 5.5 in favor of Detroit Mercy. Give me Purdue Fort Wayne plus 5.5 and plus 190 to win outright. Bellarmine Liberty. Million's Liberty 16 total 133 at 9/10. And we have 16.5 and 128.5 over. ASUN quarterfinal. Lipscomb Stetson. My line is Lipscomb 0.7 total 148 and a 20th. And we have Stetson 1.5 total 147.5. Very close. So slight lead Lipscomb plus the points and plus 110. Bellarmine Liberty. My projection is Liberty 16 total 133 9/10. And we have 16.5 and 128.5. That's the one we did already. It was the over. North Alabama, Eastern Kentucky. My line is Eastern by 7 total 147 and 2/5. Yeah, I just realized I skipped a couple of ASUN quarterfinal games, so I'm just going back to them. 7.5 and 152.5 under. And Queens, Kennesaw State. My line's Kennesaw 13-3 total 148.5. And it's 6.5 and 152.5. I love Kennesaw State minus the points. ESPN tonight, NC State Duke. My line's Duke 6.3 total 142 and 11/20. And it's 6.5 and 145.5 under. Georgia Tech Syracuse. My line's Syracuse 10.8 total 142.5. And it's 8.5 and 144.5. I'm going to lay the points with Syracuse. NJIT New Hampshire. I believe this is the America East regular season finale. I have here New Hampshire 9.2 total 137. And we got 6.5 and 136.5. I'm going to lay the points with New Hampshire. UMBC and Binghamton. I pick them in 144 and 3/20. It's UMBC 2.5 total 145.5. Give me Binghamton plus 2.5 and plus 114 to win. Bryant, Maine. My line is Bryant 5.7 total 145 and 2/5. And we got 3.5 and 147.5. I'm going to take the under. Albany, Vermont. My line's Vermont by 18 total 140 and 19/20. And it's 18.5 and 139.5. Slate over. Florida, Georgia, SEC Network. Mine's Georgia 1.5 total 140 and 13/20. And it's Florida 2.5 total 144.5. I'm going to take Georgia plus 2.5 and plus 112 to win. CBS Sports Org, VCU St. Louis. With VCU's hosting. My line is VCU 5.2 total 140 and 3/20. And we got here 6.5 and 142.5. Under. LaSalle Dayton. My line's Dayton 15.3 total 136 and 11/20. And it's 13.5 and 135.5. I'm going to do a slight lean to Dayton. Toledo Central, Michigan. My line's Toledo 15.3 total 148 and 19/20. And we have here 14.5 and 147.5. Slide over. Eastern Michigan, Bowling Green. My line's Bowling 2.7, total 153 and 11/20. And we got 3.5 and 158.5 on there. Ohio, Kent State. My line's Kent 10.3, total 145 in the fifth. And it's 7.5 and 145.5. I'm going to lay it with Kent State. Miami of Ohio and Western Michigan. My line's Western by 1, total 147 and 9/20. And it's 1.5 and 147.5. Very, 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 very close. So slightest leads of Miami, Ohio, plus the 1.5. Ball State, Akron. Mine's Akron by 4, total 142 in the fifth. And it's 8.5 and 141.5. Give me Ball State plus the points. That's a lot of points. Buffalo, Northern Illinois. My line's Buffalo 1.3, total 149 and 4/5. And we got 3.5 and 154.5 under. And that's an 8 o'clock game. 8:30 Sunbelt first round. Georgia State, Texas State. From Pensacola Base Center. My line's Texas State by 4. Total 133 and 4/5. And it's 4.5 and 130.5 over. A big one. Fox Sports 1. Villanova, Seton Hall. I have Seton Hall 1.2, total 135 and a 20th. And it's Villanova 1.5, total 130.5. Give me the over. 9 o'clock ESPN, Texas Tech and number 3 Kansas. My line's Kansas 13.2, total 143 and 4/5. And it's 8.5 and 145.5. I'm laying it with Kansas. Arkansas number 12, Tennessee. My line here is Tennessee 5.5, total 135. And it's 6.5 and 134.5. Very close. So the slightest leans to Arkansas. CBS Sports Network number 18, San Diego State at Boise State. This is a big one in the Mountain West. On CBS Sports Network, my line is San Diego State by 0.7, total 136 and 9/20. And it's Boise 1.5, total 134.5. So, believe it or not, I'm actually going to take San Diego State plus 1.5 and plus 112. Number 24, Texas A&M at Ole Miss on ESPNU. My line is Texas A&M by 8, total 138 and 3/20. And it's 5.5 and 135.5. This is a tough one. 2.5 point edge on A&M. And over that on the over. So I'm going to take the over. ACC Network, Virginia Tech, Louisville. My line is Virginia Tech 9.8, total 142 in a fifth. And it's 10.5 and 144.5. I'll take the under. Big Ten Network, Michigan State, Nebraska. Mine's Michigan State 3.7, total 136 and 11/20. And it's 3.5 and 138.5. I'm going to take a slight under. SEC Network, South Carolina, Mississippi State. Mine's Mississippi State 12.3, total 137 or 131 and 13/20. And it's 15.5 and 125.5. I'll take the over. 10:30 Fox Sports 1, Fresno State, New Mexico. My line's New Mexico 13.8. Total 139 and 7/20. And it's 8.5 and 141.5. I'll lay it with New Mexico in a bounce back spot. And CBS Sports Network at 11, Colorado State, San Jose State. My line is Colorado State 0.3, total 139. And it's San Jose State 2.5, total 136.5. I'm going to take Colorado State plus 2.5 and plus 115 to win. All right, now move on to the NBA. We'll recap the small window from yesterday, and we have a large window to look ahead to for today. Hornets over the Pistons, 117-106. Heat over the Sixers, 101-99. Knicks over the Celtics, 109-94 for their 6th win in a row. And the Magic over the Pelicans, 101-93. All right, so we got a 10-gamer tonight. 7:30 of the Wizards and the Hawks. I have Hawks 4.25 total 230 and a 20th. And we got 7 and 234.5 under. Bucks Nets. My line is Bucks 1.5 total 226 and 2/5. Oh, that's not right. I forgot to include the Durant Irving absences that cancel out for like the current guys they have. So there you go, 5.5 and 226. And the 5th, there we go. And it's 6.5 and 231.5. I'll take the under. Bulls Raptors. My line is the Raptors 3 3/4 total 225.25, and it's 4.5 and 220. I'll take the over, believe it or not. TNT Lakers Grizzlies, no LeBron. My line's Grizzlies by 12 total 231, and so I forgot to make an adjustment for D'Angelo Russell here. So Grizzlies 10 total 231 and 720, and it's 9 and 230.5. So slight lean Grizzlies. 8 o'clock Nuggets Rockets. My line is the Nuggets 11.5 total 229 or 228 and 9/10, and it is 10.5 and 230. Slight under. Kings Thunder. My line Sacramento 6.5 total 236 and 3/5, and it's 2.5 and 236. I'm gonna lay to 2.5 with Sacramento. No SGA. 8:30 Pacers Mavs. My line's Mavs 5.5. Forgot to adjust 7.5 total 229 and 3/20, and it's 8.5 and 236.5. Under. 9 o'clock Spurs Jazz. My line is the Jazz by 8 3/4. Total 234 and 9/10, and it's 10 and 236.5. So this would another be a slight under. 10 o'clock Blazers Warriors. My line is Blazers 1 3/4 total 233 and 9/20, and it is Golden State by 4 total 235. I'm taking Portland plus the 4 and plus 148. Last but not least, on TNT tonight, Timberwolves Clippers. My line is the Clippers by 8.5 total 228 and a 5th, and it's 6.5 and 234. I'll gladly take the under. All right, now move on to the NHL. We'll recap the games from yesterday and look ahead to tonight's game. Sens over the Red Wings 6-2. Canucks over the Stars 5-4 OT. Bruins over the Oilers 3-2. So best bet continues to be a slump in February as it loses again. Abs over the Golden Knights 3-0. And the Ducks over the Blackhawks 4-2. Big window tonight, 7 o'clock. You have the Red Wings at the Senators again. I gave out the Red Wings as a dog yesterday. That did not work out. The Sens are minus 137. The Red Wings are plus 114. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 104. Unders minus 118. Red Wings plus 1.5 is minus 225. Sens minus 1.5 is plus 180. I don't regret the pick. I just think that maybe the Red Wings are looking past them a little bit. So I'm taking them again, plus 114. Panthers, Lightning. Lightning minus 176. Panthers plus 146. Over under 7. Overs plus 108. Unders minus 134. Panthers plus 1/2 is minus 160. Lightning minus 1/2 is plus 130. Lightning reloaded yet again. I'm taking them in regulation at minus 113. 7:30 on Hulu. Blue Jackets, Sabres. Sabres minus 215. Columbus plus 176. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 130. Unders plus 106. Columbus plus 1/2 is minus 142. Sabres minus 1/2 is plus 114. I'm going to go first period results, Sabres plus 124. 8 o'clock, Isles, Wild. Wild minus 142. Isles plus 118, over under 5.5. Overs plus 110, unders minus 134. Isles plus 1/2 is minus 240. Wild minus 1/2 is plus 190. I'm going to take the over plus money. Pens, Preds. Pens minus 138. Preds plus 115. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 102. Unders minus 120. Pens minus 1/2 is plus 184. Preds plus 1/2 is minus 230. Let's see if that 5 goals and 4 minutes implosion, or I should say explosion, for Pittsburgh against Tampa Bay carries over. I'll take the over. Kraken, Blues. Kraken minus 154. Blues plus 128. Over under 6. Overs minus 122. Unders even money. Kraken minus 1/2 is plus 164. Blues plus 1/2 is minus 205. The Blues are playing a little bit better lately. I'm going to take them as an underdog at plus 128. Kings, Jets. Jets minus 134. Kings plus 112. Over under 6. Minus 110 each way. Kings plus 1/2 is minus 235. Jets minus 1/2 is plus 186. I'll gladly take the over there too. 9 o'clock, Blackhawks, Coyotes. Coyotes minus 182. Blackhawks plus 150. Over under 6.5. Overs plus 110. Unders minus 134. Blackhawks plus 1/2 is minus 164. Coyotes minus 1/2 is plus 136. I'm going with the over there as well. Bruins, Flames. Bruins minus 134. Flames plus 112. Over under 6. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Bruins minus 1/2 is plus 198. Flames plus 1/2 is minus 250. The Bruins are on some run right now. 46, 8-5 on the year. 7 in a row. I'm going to take the over. And Canadian Sharks, last but not least. And by the way, Boston, Calgary's 10:30. Or no, it's a 9 o'clock game. And 10:30, Canadian Sharks. Sharks minus 164. Habs plus 136. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 108. Unders minus 112. Habs plus 1/2 is minus 188. Sharks minus 1/2 is plus 152. I'm going to take the Canadians plus 136 to beat San Jose outright. All right. Major League Baseball spring training. We'll go over results from yesterday and look ahead to today's spring training matchups. Cardinals over the Mets 12-7. Marlins over the Astros 4-3. Red Sox over the Twins 4-1. Phils over the Pirates 9-7. Rays over the Orioles 14-2. Braves over the Blue Jays 7-0. Guardians over the Cubs 12-4. Rockies over the A's 7-3. Brewers over the Royals 10-4. White Sox over the Mariners 10-1. Rangers over the Reds 13-2. D-backs over the Cubs 3-0. Giants over the Angels 8-6. Dodgers over the Padres 7-6. All right, today's games: 1 o'clock, Yankees, Rays, Braves, Twins, Orioles, Pirates, Cards, Nats, Blue Jays, Phillies, Tigers, Blue Jays at 1:07. ESPN, Astros, Mets. 3 o'clock, Angels, A's, Reds, Dodgers, Rockies, Rangers, Royals, Guardians, Padres, Giants, White Sox, D-backs, Cubs, Brewers, Guardians, Mariners, and 6:40 of the Red Sox and the Marlins. All right, now we'll go over soccer from yesterday and look ahead to today's soccer. So today we have English FA Cup 5th round beginning 2:15. You have Stoke and Brighton. Brighton minus 240, Stoke plus 550, draw plus 310. Brighton's just better. I'm going to go under 2.5 goals, minus 108. 2:30, Leicester, Blackburn. Leicester minus 360. Blackburn 8-1. Draw plus 420. Blackburn's a good underdog. I'm going to be ballsy and take an 8-1 underdog in Blackburn to upset Leicester City. They've won 3 straight. Leicester's lost 2 straight. Why not? Fulham Leeds. Fulham plus 125. Leeds plus 195. Draw plus 220. Fulham's been playing well. I'm going to take them plus 125 against Leeds. And 3 o'clock, Bristol City, Man City. Man City's minus 800. Bristol City's 13-1. Man City and Bristol City draws plus 650. Man City's just better. I'm going to go over 3.5 goals at minus 114. All right, Italian Serie A results from yesterday. Fiorentina over Verona 3-0 and Lazio over Sampdoria 1-0. And then today we have 12:30 Cremonese and AS Roma. Roma minus 140, Cremonese plus 420, draw plus 230. Roma's just better. I'm going to take over 2.5 goals plus 140. And 245, Juventus and Torino. Juventus minus 140, Torino plus 440, draw plus 230. Juventus is kind of turning on of late. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals at plus 152. Coupe de France quarterfinals. Today at 3 o'clock, you have Lyon and Grenoble. Lyon minus 430, Grenoble plus 950, draw plus 440. Lyon's just better than Grenoble, hands down. Well, under 2.5 goals plus 104. And then English League Championship results from yesterday. Swansea, Rotherham, 1-1 draw. And then today, 2 games, Preston and Coventry. Preston plus 180, Coventry plus 160, draw plus 210. I'm going to go with Coventry plus 160 on the road. And at 3 o'clock, you have Luton and Millwall. Luton plus 120, Millwall plus 260, draw is 2-1. I like how Millwall is playing of late. I'm going to take them as an underdog at plus 260. We had a Major League Soccer game last night. Portland over Kansas City. 1-0. Mexican Liga from yesterday. Leon and Monterrey, 1-1 draw. Spanish La Liga result. Villarreal over Getafe, 2-1. No German Bundesliga till Friday. We did Italian Serie A already. French League 1 is off till Friday. We went over English FA Cup. We have the Europa League round of 16 first leg returning on March 9th. And for soccer today, that's pretty much it. All right, news and notes for today. We will start with an NBA injury. LaMelo Ball suffered a fractured ankle against the Pistons, non-contact injury, and he'll be out for a while. I know Charlotte's won 5 straight, but they're still in the bottom 4 of the NBA standings, which is good for their shot at the Victor Wembanyama sweepstakes, but this only helps their case. As sick as that sounds, but hopefully LaMelo Ball gets well soon. Bam says that he should have won Defensive Player of the Year over Rudy Gobert and Marcus Smart last season. LeBron James is not playing tonight against the Grizzlies as he is apparently going to miss multiple weeks. That's what the Lakers are fearing. A multi-week absence after he suffers the foot injury against the Mavs on the ABC game. And LeBron shared a picture of his frustration with the foot injury on his Instagram story. Steve Kerr says Draymond's MRI was cleared. He practiced yesterday and is questionable for tonight's game against Portland. Some NFL news. A $55 million loan focused on the Snyder case, as a disputed loan is the main focus of Fed's financial misconduct investigation into Dan Snyder and the Commanders. I think Dan Snyder is going to be out of there sooner rather than later. He's the worst owner in sports. We all know it. Worse than James Dolan. Worse than some of these other guys that get a lot of heat. Obviously, Sarver's out. Glenn Taylor for the Timberwolves is out, but now Snyder's the unequivocal worst owner in sports. And now he has this case. And the team has the case over its head. Speaking of the Commanders, they cut Carson Wentz as they saved $26 million on his cap by officially releasing Wentz after one season. Not surprising. And the owners could remove Snyder as other team owners are angered by the Commanders' owner demanding assurances he won't face further legal liability. So, like I said, he's going to be out of there sooner rather than later. Jalen Ramsey's on the trade block. We've been discussing this a lot. I think there's also a chance he's released. Because what if somebody doesn't want to give up a lot for him? I think there's a lot of teams that make sense for Jalen Ramsey. I think the Chiefs make sense. I think they're going to trade him to the AFC, but I could be wrong. Buffalo's pretty deep at corner. I don't see him going there. I think Kansas City's a possibility. I think obviously the Raiders are a possibility. I think the Chargers are okay at corner. So is Denver. If the Texans want to speed their rebuilding, get veterans in there, I could see them making a run at them. The Jaguars, that would be a fun reunion story if he were to get dealt back to Jacksonville. They obviously need help at that position. I think Tennessee is going to rebuild rather than retool. Obviously, the Jets will be in play alongside Sauce Gardner. So imagine a secondary with Sauce Gardner and Jalen Ramsey. New England, I think, is going to try to bounce back. The Dolphins are obviously going to be in play for him after the releasing of Byron Jones. NFC teams in play. If the Giants cut Adoree Jackson, you could see them in play for Ramsey. The Eagles, Dallas, obviously, even the Commanders. So all four NFC East teams, I think, have a shot at it. Green Bay, if they keep Rodgers. The Chicago Bears, if they want to go for it a little bit. The Lions are obviously going to be in play. You heard them linked to him already. Minnesota could use some secondary help. So everyone in that division. And then the South, I think the Panthers, are the most likely team to trade for Ramsey in that division. I mean, I wouldn't rule out the other three either. But we'll see where he lands. And speaking of the Packers, this just came down. Their GM addressed their situation. Brian Gutekunst. He said that all options are on the table regarding Aaron Rodgers, and he says that Jordan Love is ready to start. We have our first franchise tag of the season, Commanders defensive tackle Daron Payne. He'll make $18.9 next season if he and the team can agree to a long-term deal. So Daron Payne rightfully gets the tag. Another team has entered the Derek Carr sweepstakes along with the Jets and the Saints. And as the Carolina Panthers, as Carr will meet those 3 teams at the scouting combine. And speaking of the combine, Bryce Young will not throw at the combine. C.J. Stroud, Will Levis, and Anthony Richardson will all work out in Indy on Saturday. All right, so some big soccer news right here is that Jurgen Klinsmann to coach South Korea as he returns to management for the 2026 World Cup cycle. So that would mean Team USA will be looking for a new coach. I have a guy in mind that I think they should hire, but I don't know if this individual wants to leave his current situation in Major League Soccer. Jim Curtin of the Philadelphia Union has been a name that's been tossed around in the media in terms of a potential assistant on the staff. I think he could be the man. I think he could be the head coach of that team. He's capable. He's probably the best coach in Major League Soccer. He's coached a contender for a couple of seasons now in Philadelphia. That would be a big loss for the Union, absolutely. But I could see him making a jump. And Steve Cherundolo, who's the head coach of LAFC, is the other one to keep an eye on. And Greg Vanney of the LA Galaxy, I think, is another candidate as well. So the U.S. men's national team is obviously going to have a new coach for the 2026 World Cup. So some baseball stuff. Gavin Lux was carted off the field yesterday as he suffered an injury running the third base in a spring training game. Hopefully he gets well soon. And Seiya Suzuki out of the World Baseball Classic, which starts a week from today. He will not play for Team Japan, and more clarity to come on the injury today. The new AP poll is out, and by the way, we'll cover the WBC on the show. I'll do a preview and predictions show maybe on Friday. So the AP poll, Houston's number 1, of course, 49 votes. Number 2 is Alabama with 5 votes. They shouldn't even have a first-place vote, considering what's going on with Brandon Miller. 3, Kansas with 8 votes. They should be number 2. 4, UCLA. 5, Purdue. 6, Marquette. 7, Baylor. 8, Arizona. 9, Texas. 10, Gonzaga. 11, Kansas State. 12, Tennessee. 13, Virginia. 14, UConn. 15, Indiana. 16, Miami. 17, St. Mary's. 18, San Diego State. 19, Xavier. 20, Providence. 21, Maryland. 22, TCU. 23, Kentucky. Welcome back to the poll, Kentucky. 24, Texas A&M. 25, Pitt. Others receiving votes, Creighton, Duke, Oral Roberts, Northwestern, FAU, Iowa State, Nevada, Missouri, Arkansas State, Charleston, NC State, Clemson, Memphis, Boise, USC, VCU, and West Virginia. Dropping from the rankings, Creighton, Northwestern, Iowa State. New to the poll, Maryland, Kentucky, and Pitt. Kentucky is more of a welcome back after an absence for a while, and everybody was killing that team for underachieving and yada yada, but here they are back in the AP poll. And you can make a case deservingly so, with some big wins and pretty much a lock to make the tournament at this point. And Maryland turns out to be the biggest mover up. And in terms of teams that were already ranked, San Diego State moved up 4 spots, so did Marquette. Biggest dropper, Virginia, losing to BC and North Carolina. So, obviously, they were going to drop. Alrighty, last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. There's another hockey over that jumped out to me. is between teams that have been involved in some high-scoring games in the Western Conference. It's the Kings and it's the Jets. Over 6, -110. I'm going to lay a quarter unit on it. So, over 6, -110, quarter unit, Jets, Kings, for best bet of the day. Okay, that's it for the show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything. I'll have a pick for the Arnold Palmer Invitational on tomorrow's podcast as well. We also have a lot of other activities to do, and maybe I'll have a mock bracket. And Survivor starts tomorrow, so looking forward to that. And then we have an episode of Best Thing or Two. Have a great day, everyone.